Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to another Mamemeister readout thing, whatever it's called. Again, apologies for the lack of lighting here. It's just the way things are. Anyway, guys, I'm going to read out another one of my article things that I got published on Way of the Rodent. I do apologise. You probably think, I don't know if anyone's actually listening to these things. A lot of them you probably think are quite similar, but basically these were early memories, early anecdotes from back in the day. And so hence the reason there is a bit of duplication in some of the articles I'm reading now. But anyway, I hope you enjoy it anyway. So this one, it's called Pixel Square Balls, which should become apparent as I read on. His face was pockmarked, and behind his back we referred to him as Uncle Frank from Hellraiser, due to his very bad acne. Robert, or Davo as he was affectionately known, was one of those who never attached himself to any group at school. He was a 6 foot AC/DC freak. He was always spandexed and mohaired to the hilt, and openly spoke of having sex with his girlfriend, while the rest of us 16-year-olds made do with the latest copy of Razzle. He was never much liked or disliked, and had the misfortune to have the worst stutter I'd ever heard. I never could stop myself finishing sentences for him. He used to smoke out his bedroom window, drank his mum's sherry, and flirted with your mum. He was, for all intent, an arsehole, but there was something which drew us together, albeit for a brief time, in 1984. Religious education class. Mrs. Coulter with the large mole realised at an early age the chances of educating a 30-strong class of council estate kids was next to nil. She found the easiest way to minimise disruption in class was to allow us to bring our own books into school. I took my How to Get Better at Arcade Games in, and Grant always took along one of his Star Trek photo novels. Davo was a floater, a hobo if you will. Possibly his stutter and facial appearance gave him a confidence depletion to the extent he never made friends or indeed ever tried. This had the counter effect of making him sarcastic, annoying, and a Diet Coke bully, i.e. if challenged he backed off. He was as obnoxious as he was likeable. Trouble with the Trimbles caught his attention one day, and before I knew it, he had integrated himself into Grant and my company. As the weeks wore on, he would make a beeline for us, and despite Grant and my effort to tell him to fuck off, he never took the hint. One religious education class I mentioned in the conversation had a Commodore 64, which featured this fantastic fruit machine simulator, Superfruit. Really, he remarked, I wouldn't mind a shot of that, and with that I arranged for him to pop down to mine to see it in action. That night, opening the front door, his gangly, red and black striped fluffy flame frame obscuring the broken light from outside, he made his way downstairs to my room. Coffee was made and we settled down to some superfruit. He insisted on smoking, something I hated, but was always too polite to say so. The night wore on, and we both became transfixed with the spinning reels. Hold, nudge, and start were the only buttons available, and somehow the compulsion to win the virtual jackpot became more and more. 1 o'clock in the morning, Mum shouted that my friend should go home now. Reluctantly, he left and shuffled back into the night, his frame cutting a rather pathetic and sad sight. By day, Davo was this tosser no one wanted to befriend, and any mention of my friendship was stringently denied. However, as the meetups became more frequent, a bond formed, the bond being the discovery and obsession with video games. Gradually we moved over into international soccer. Gradually we moved over into international soccer. The games became heated, and the competitive and rivalry bordered on hatred, but this both drove us on to reach the pinnacle of pixel soccer prowess. Invitations to play were no longer required, he would just turn up. Many occasion Gavin or Grant were there, and the door was answered by my mum with the "Oh, I don't know where he is" son line, our backs pinned to the wall in case he looked in the window and spotted us. He knew we were there, and we knew he knew we were there, but nothing was said. We weren't friends indeed. We didn't even like each other, but this common addiction kept us together like a dealer and his client. As school wore on and religious education and English became increasingly boring, Davo would taunt me with invitations to go to mine and play, international soccer and drink coffee, with me usually succumbing to temptation. He was a bad-tempered loser, something he got used to as I mastered the run in one direction and quickly turn the other way while pressing fire button, which enabled you to run with the ball bouncing along in your head. Heavy defeats became commonplace, and he wasn't happy. After a particular successful pirate night, a new game submerged, Hustler by Bubble Bus Software. The pop-black music grabbed you by the balls, and the sheer delight of playing pool on the TV was exquisite. Graphically, this was as simple as they came. 6 jagged circles, plus the white with the balls, with ball physics resembling a conker on a piece of elastic. This was as good as it gets. The game quickly became our heroine. Skipping school and sitting up until 4 o'clock in the morning became commonplace. Best of 20 wasn't enough anymore, so one night we embarked on a first to 100 frames. Despite his ability, he felt the need to murmur, "Miss, miss, miss," while I played. He quickly established a commanding lead. As the time wore on, the score was high, 70s to my 40-something. At 2 a.m, things changed. I locked into the zone, and the fucker started to drop. Frame after frame was pulled back. As my prowess increased, his confidence and ability fell. The 30-frame deficit was soon overturned, and before I knew it, he was staring defeat in the face. As I increased my quota to 90-odd, something strange happened. Despite my loathing and dislike for this person, I felt an overwhelming sadness for him, akin to a wounded shark after a frenzied attack and knowing its own fate was sealed while it hung on the hook. My apparent mastering of the game dwindled, and I started missing a few. The score grew closer, and I sensed a renewed arrogance in Devo. The sympathy, however strong, would not stretch to me allowing him victory. The touch was regained, and I won an emphatic victory, 100 frames to 97 or something. He was gutted and left. Our friendship grew thinner after catching him stealing 2 of my computer games to sell for cash. He remained on the outskirts of my life for a few years afterwards. Every request by him to come visit was always knocked in the head. I have no idea of his whereabouts nowadays. He may be dead for all I know. Last I heard, he was a fruit machine engineer. Robert, however, left an imprint. He nurtured and shared my passion for gaming, something that never left me after 20 years. He showed me AC/DC and early Christy Burr, but most of all, he showed me that the unlikeliest of people can make a difference. We respected one another's gaming prowess, and despite probably never liking each other, we shared something good for a few brief months in 1984, an unhealthy and unquestionable powerful lust for gaming. For that, Robert, I thank you. That's it, guys. Hope you enjoy it. Again, please leave any comments if you like them. If you think it's shite, then please let me know as well. Okay, thanks for watching.